Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News. As always, so much went down on last night's Real Housewives of Orange County. But this week, we also got an OC bombshell dropped on us that honestly still has me reeling. So unfortunately, or fortunately for her, Lisa is off on vacation. So today we're bringing back a fan favorite to break it all down with us. You know her, you love her, and she's got a lot of opinions to share. Please welcome friend of the show, Sophia.
Hello, Kim. Hello, everybody. I am so excited because this is the week to be here. So while I miss Lisa, I am honored yet again to take her place.
Yes, this is certainly the week to be here because, okay, so before we get into the episode, I think we need to address the elephant in the room. We have to talk about the breaking news. There was a lot of it this week, but to stay on track of Orange County, Johnny J and Alexis Bellino announced their engagement after 9 months of dating. I just need for you to give us like a brain dump and tell us like how you're feeling, what you thought when you saw the post, all of the above.
My first thought was, I hope that Shannon is surrounded by so much love and light and that Tamra's nowhere near her. But my second thought was, good riddance. These two little monsters deserve each other. And I simply can't get over the fact that she drops this right before an episode where she's not really present. I think that these two continue this theater, which is all simply performed to spite Shannon, which as two adults with children, it's unbecoming, it's not classy in the least, and I would love for them to exit all of our lives and crawl into the Earth's core so that they are hot and uncomfortable, and yet again, we do not lay eyes upon them.
Tell us how you really feel, Sophia. Damn, I mean, I feel the same. I feel these two are not good people. I feel like they will do whatever it takes to make Shannon's life miserable, and this is certainly doing that. However, Shannon kind of seems unbothered by all of it. She like posted a post like a few minutes after the engagement, but it was like with her makeup artist and hairstylist, and she was like surrounded by people that love me. And I'm like, okay, you do you. But she's acting unbothered by it. And that's all I can wish for her because honestly, we've seen what she's gone through with Johnny J these past couple seasons, the fights that paralyzed her. He is an awful man, awful boyfriend, awful person, and she's better off without him, 100%. I mean, like it's like Lexi and Johnny J are kind of like made for each other.
100% they're made for each other. And some angel posted on Twitter a scene of Emily having a conversation with Alexis a couple seasons ago where Alexis was saying nearly verbatim the same things that she says about Johnny J now, of how she's never felt love like this and it's so beautiful and this and that. So we're gonna need to not believe you, and we stand Shannon. I will say, and I don't know if this is unpopular or not, I do actually think that this all happening now is helping Shannon. And I think having Alexis Bellino on this season of The Housewives makes it so that there's not as much room for people to put Shannon down and put her DUI under a microscope. So I am thankful for that because obviously I'm Team Shannon. But I think that's important for us to know. If she wasn't there, what kind of conversations might we be having?
That is so true. I mean, I think that maybe Alexis and John had a different viewpoint. They kind of thought that Shannon was going to be having a bad season, and they thought that they were going to be bringing in information that the audience and maybe some of the other wives would want to hear and like to continue to break her down. But no, it's the complete opposite. It's making us stan her even more, support her even more. And I love that. Speaking of, so let's get into the episode. And we start off with this scene of Shannon, of course, giving us everything. She is going to this like auto body shop and they are installing the breathalyzer in her new car. I mean, like the girl shares her entire life with us. This is obviously a low point, but of course, Shannon is going to bring, the humor and personality to it.
Always.
To practice, it's the hum and the blow. Of course, I didn't know that, but now I know. Hopefully, I will never have to use this in my everyday life. But it does take her a couple tries, and she finally gets it. But it's kind of scary. Like you have to do it in this certain way, or else like there's a violation and they're going to take away your license and you have to retest every 5 to 20 minutes when you're driving. Like this is a lot to deal with, but I guess, Shannon does, deserve some punishment. So I guess this is what she gets.
Absolutely. I think to echo your obsession of her showing everything, I think that is the mark of a true perfect housewife. She has given us so much of all of the uglies, all of the goods, all of it. And I really, really, I respect housewives so much when they do that, because we know the ones that don't, and it is frustrating and they tend to not get much of our love. But I also think it's so smart that she's showing us just how much her life has changed because of this night, and how it's almost we see her going through her atonement and showing how much she's focusing on that growth. Now, I don't know, Kim, did you try to hum and blow? Because I did, and I nearly passed out because I lost oxygen to my brain. So I think also all these violations scream unsafe. We're supposed to, what are we pulling over and doing the hum and blow every 5 to 10 minutes? Is there a time limit? Are we trying to help people, or is this a way to have them fail? I'm anxious, and I do not have this thing in my car.
Yeah, no, I am with you. Page 6 also came out with like photos just yesterday catching Shannon do the breathalyzer. I don't know if you saw those, but I mean, she's still having to do this. Like, how obviously they filmed this at the beginning of the year. So she's at least 6 months in. So hopefully practice makes perfect. She's got it down to a science now. I think all is good. It seems like she is, not in any more trouble, no violations that we know of. So we'll see how it goes, but I am rooting for her 100%. So speaking of rooting for somebody, let's transition to this scene with Jen and Katie. And I want to get your thoughts on both, because of course, Katie is the new housewife. Jen, is going through a lot with Ryan. But we kind of hear more from Katie than we have in past episodes about her family dynamics. We kind of have this whole family dynamic segment. Everybody's kind of telling us about their kids, their ex-husbands. But Katie got married really young. It was basically like a forced marriage. She didn't want to do it. Her oldest daughter doesn't talk to her ex. It's really, really tough to hear, but her and Jen kind of bond over this because they both have tough situations. Now, what are your thoughts on kind of, the situations that they're dealing with their exes and overall as a housewife?
I love the Katie edition. I believe, well, first of all, she's got money. We love opulence. That's what we, especially in the OC. So I love that. I love that she actually has things going on in her life that she is willing to share. That must be so relatable for so many people, where you feel so stuck. And so you end up sticking to this path because of shame, because of familial pressure. So I am so thankful that she shared that. I think it could help a lot of people. And I also think it goes to show that we do not need to be talking about nonsense with her and Heather. Although another thing I like about Katie is going up against a major housewife, similar to how Jackie went up against Teresa in her first season, takes so much cojones, and it takes me into orbit. I love it. I think it really shows that they are there. They don't care. When a housewife comes on the first season and they're a little too, ass kissy, not for me. I need you to be you and honest, and otherwise you're boring and I don't mean it. So I'm really into it.
I do disagree with you a little bit there because I don't like when a new housewife comes on and is super thirsty and trying to cause drama just for the hell of it. I am so glad we've moved on from this paparazzi gate because it is literally giving nothing. It is a nothing burger. Heather called the paparazzi. It doesn't matter. So I'm glad we're moving on. But I do think that we're starting to see more of who Katie really is. And I am happy for that. So what about Jen? What are your thoughts overall on Jen, her situation, Ryan, etc.?
I have come to absolutely adore Jen. She is like, I'm not even sure that I really had much of an opinion on her first season, but she has shown, and again, I know this is all edited, but just let me believe what I believe. I think that she is one of the most genuine, angelic humans to cross a Bravo franchise. She gives a wee bit of like Tinsley from New York because, she, without the trust fund, sadly, but she has this kindness to her that just seems very natural. The way she sat there and listened to Katie, I felt like she was enveloping her in a hug. I really love her, and I think it's so important, especially this season, to have someone who exudes so much positivity and light while we have Tamra, who is unfortunately a dark hole.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, is there a better way to describe her? Dark. Like it's bad. But Jen, I completely agree with you. I had the pleasure of actually talking to her and Ryan at the Diamonds and Rosé experience in LA for quite a while. And they were both so lovely. She's like, you live in OC, let's hang out. Like she was like just so sweet and genuine. And I feel like I was rooting for her even before that. Like there's something about her that makes you want to root for her. And I think we'll get to this at the Traitors party, but Emily said it best. The way she's been raised, she has been taken care of her whole entire life. And now she has just been, plopped on her own and has to all of a sudden take care of shit by herself. And she doesn't know how to do it. And that's exactly right. That's exactly what's happening. She's owning up to it. And you can't hate somebody for how they were raised and how they're trying to handle a difficult situation. So I don't know. I'm rooting for her. But, we have yet to get to Ryan's whole gambling situation with the FBI. I don't know all the details of it, but I'm not sure if that will sway my opinion. We'll see.
I know. I mean, listen, in the wake of Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, some incredible women have broken pickers. And I believe Jen also has that, but still she will rise. And I beg of you, girl, do a yoga retreat. We'll all go on. We all want to support you. Make merch. We will buy it. You are an angel. Please get your money up. We will help fill that bag.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Good idea, Sophia. She needs some sort of maybe Rolex tagline on a t-shirt. I don't know. I'm sure the name is trademarked, but something, she has a lot of iconic moments. Jen, get on the merch because we will buy it. Okay. So before we get to the Traitors party, because there's a lot to discuss there, let's just talk quickly about Emily and Shane. They're actually growing on me. Obviously, like the rest of the world, I really hated Shane when he first came on. I was so Kelly Dodd, you're a dweeb, you're a dork, get off my screen. But I love their dynamic. They're spray tanning each other in the backyard. And, Emily, of course, kind of talks about her upbringing, how opposite to Jen, she didn't have support from her family. She had to raise herself. And that's tough, but I think it's made her who she is today. And I love Emily. I think she's a breath of fresh air. She's also grown on me. Thoughts on them?
I agree with you. I despised Shane earlier on. I didn't think that he had enough respect for this powerful woman that he married. And that always really grinds my gears. But he's grown, she's grown. I really appreciate their relationship. There really does seem to be so much love there, and we love that. However, with all of the conversations around her upbringing, it could not have been easy. And she, however, is too grown to still be at level 1 of this conversation. I want for her to heal so much, and it's none of my business if she goes to therapy or not, but we can't keep having the same conversation season after season. This is simply not how it works. If she's willing to share, let's dig deeper into that. What can we do to alleviate you from these shackles? So just again, love and light, please heal. I want that for you, girl.
All right. I see that. Okay. So let's get to the event of the evening, which is the Traitors party. I assume you watched the Traitors, right, Sophia? I mean, could not be more obsessed.
With a beating heart in 2 hands? Come on.
Yeah. And I think having this party was a genius idea on Tamra's part. So I will give her props there, which I don't give her props too often. But we see the black SUVs driving in, like they all get out of the car at the same time. Like this is cinema. It was perfection. And then Teddi Mellencamp walks in. Now, we saw this in the trailer. We knew she was going to be hosting the event, but they were very much building up the suspense for this person to come and host. And then she walks in, and it seems like the ladies felt the same way that the audience did, pretty much unenthused, not excited. And I don't know, what were your thoughts about Teddi hosting? What are your thoughts on Teddi in general?
John Mellencamp's daughter has no place on Bravo, and we have made that clear. Can we not have peace, please? Please.
Agreed.
We do not.
Agreed.
We don't need this. And then to have the audacity to put her in the host position? Alan Cummings has worked too hard to ever be disrespected in this fashion.
It was a terrible downgrade, major downgrade. I mean,
that they played a confusing version of the game. It felt like the questionnaire, fine, cool, but then there was just so many different things, and I don't know if it's because they were trying to edit around who the traitor was or what, but it felt a little disjointed to me, and I too was very jazzed. I was like, oh, Traitors and Vicky's gonna be there. It's gonna be great. But I felt like I just needed an outline to follow along, and I don't think I'm that dumb.
No, I agree. It was very all over the place. I think the editing was kind of a little crazy, but it was interesting because immediately, right off the bat, Teddi is going to go for the jugular when it comes to the OG of the OC. She says, "Welcome, housewives," and Vicky. And all the wives kind of think that was a bitch move. And Vicky's like, she's a bitch. And I feel like that was the one and only moment where Teddi actually made an impact in this episode. The rest of the time, this is her time. This is her time to shine. She is back on Bravo after being fired. She was maybe trying to bring this mysterious, I don't know, kind of character persona. It fell completely flat. She was giving us nothing. I don't think she did a very good job at all. I was kind of waiting with bated breath for her and Vicky to go at it, because they do the flashbacks of the January 6th comment that happened at BravoCon, Watch What Happens Live. They have some very deep-seated beef. Why didn't we get a scene with them two hashing it out? Why?
Truly. I mean, it's so... John Mellencamp's daughter is so consistent in that she thinks that she eats every time, and then she is met just with a wah, wah. because her opinion doesn't matter, nothing. She, she has that one line and then what? Like, she has nothing to back it up. I don't think that she could ever actually go toe to toe with the OG of the OC. I mean, yet again, disrespecting icons, victim number two. So yeah, I did love the montage. We got a couple of great montages, and that was funny. It always makes me giggle when Vicky's annoyed, and then her hating Teddy also makes me giggle. So I had a great time in that one moment.
Love anything Vicky gives us. Honestly, I don't know why she's not at least a full friend of. But so let's, we're moving on throughout the game. Again, it's kind of all over the place. Teddy selects the traitor. We don't know who it is, which is kind of interesting and builds up the suspense throughout the episode. But we get a lot of side conversations. So the first is Heather and Katie talk it out. Heather ends up inviting Katie to this event she's sharing. They kind of mend fences. Katie apologizes, but Heather immediately butts in and is like, I hope you get to know me for real. And it's like, I think Heather is accepting the apology, but making it known that, like, you don't fuck with me. Like, I will be cordial to you, but you better watch your back. And I kind of appreciate this. I hope we move on, like I said, again, from Paparazzi Gate, because I really don't need to hear any more of that.
I completely agree. Let's make peace and move on. I do agree, though, with Heather in the sense that there's something that happened. I'm going to forgive, but I'm not going to forget. We kind of have to, because they don't know each other. So they do have to kind of build that trust and that rapport. So I'm interested to see that build up. Because these are two women that are loaded and don't actually need the show. And that's, I think, where we get our best housewives, because they have a level of nonchalant behavior that really serves us all in their entertainment.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. So I am interested to see, like, where their dynamic goes and how Katie kind of comes across now that we've moved past the Paparazzi Gate. But we also got one of my favorite moments of the episode, the Tres Amigas reunion, because, I was rooting for the Tres Amigas, but we do get a little bit of backstory, I guess. I guess Tamra and Vicky are good. It's Tamra and Shannon that had the falling out about the drinking and stuff. But then quickly, of course, we go to talk about Alexis and Johnny J. And, Tamra is once again, like she has been this whole season, backing up Alexis. She's like, oh, Alexis doesn't want to hurt Shannon. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Every single episode, Alexis has brought out wire transfers, videos, threats, everything that you could possibly do to hurt Shannon. So for Tamra to say that was honestly, like, it's a bold-faced lie.
100%. If all she wants is the best for her friend, there's a different way to say that. The delivery and tone matter. To me, Tamra is doing the classic Bible buffet. She's a Christian woman who has left kindness and empathy at the door when deciding that bulldozing her best friend is actually what she needs. It's like when people are incredibly rude and say, that's just because I say it how it is. No, you're being an asshole and you have no compassion. And that's not cute. That's not a way to live. And for her to not see through Alexis, and for Tamra to also think that, because she just said this on her podcast, that she didn't think that she was going to be hated this season. The delusion runs deep.
Talk about Delulu. I mean, Tamra is on another level of Delulu because she was voted the biggest traitor by the entire fucking cast. And hello, ding, 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 ding. She's like, oh, it's because I'm a truth teller. If that means I'm a traitor, then so be it. It's like, no, bitch. We mean traitor. Everybody means traitor because you literally, like, left your best friend in her deepest, darkest time of need and chose to buddy up with her sworn enemy. That is literally definition traitor. It is traitor behavior. And I don't know. I hate her for it. I hate her for it.
Me too. It's just really vile. And there's I mean, we're both married women. Our husbands probably at certain times have done things that we are like, we'll talk about that at home. I'm not going to bring this up in front of everybody because it's nobody else's business. Granted, I know that they're on a reality show, so please. But there's a way to say certain things. Like I said, you can leave the harsher stuff for behind the cameras, because this has gone beyond just Shannon. It's just like Gina said, this affects her kids. You have to think about the long term of some of these situations. It becomes too real. And I think that Tamra is just too encompassed with bringing a great season. And I really want her to sit down, because she's not a producer. She has given us so much wonderful moments on the OC, but this is certainly not one of them.
No. And the fact that I think that her hiding the fact that these videos exist to Shannon is a total another slap in the face. If you should be loyal to anybody, it's to Shannon. Even if you guys are enemies right now, I feel like she owes her that. You know, Shannon brings up the, once again, $75,000 lawsuit from Johnny J. She, I guess, sent him a settlement offer. He declined it. And Tamra's like, well, he just wants you to clear his name. And she said, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to lie. If he wants me to lie, I'm not going to do it. So I want to get your thoughts on, like, to me, I don't think that Shannon has really said anything that crazy about Johnny J. She, you know, they had really bad fights when they were together. It was, you know, kind of not a healthy relationship to be in. Of course, she said she paid for things. But like, you know, he said some inappropriate things to her. But like, what is she really saying that is so disparaging to him that he has to now clear his name? I don't understand.
She even tried to protect that man when she didn't want to talk about what was going on in their relationship. We don't like you, Johnny J, because of everything you've shown us to be. You pick this, the cameras go up, so suddenly you're suing this woman. You are seeing Alexis. You cannot tell me that isn't on purpose to spite Shannon. All of these things have made us dislike you. It's from nothing that Shannon has said. It is from nothing that Shannon has done. So there's clearing what? Like, she is not his keeper, and he has to be a big boy, put on his big boy panties and figure it out. I can't. And this settlement, it is so absurd that they are going to spend so much money in lawyers' fees. I cannot even fathom the amount just to prove this point and maybe have the storyline for your new girlfriend, who you're also feeding information to so she can go on camera and talk about it. Why does Shannon need to clear her name? It's you, bro. It's you. Oh, I could strangle.
It's sick. It makes me sick, like sick to my stomach, these people, what they're doing. You know, it's skewing in the direction of getting kind of dark. It, you know, like New Jersey with the lawsuits and stuff like that. You know, I hope we get out of it. I know Shannon will come out the other side, but right now it's really getting dark. And I know the videos are going to be brought up at the reunion, so we'll see. But so we finally get back to the actual game of Traitors. Teddi can't even host the game right because the traitor kills Vicky and she killed Tamra. So basically, like, Teddi, sorry, you failed. You failed on all counts during this episode.
Yep.
The Trace Amigas get murdered.
It was Heather because they left her.
Oh, you figured it out.
Because they left her voice in. It was so slight. She's like, I meant Vicky. Yeah, you can hear her voice say it. It was a teeny little moment. Yeah.
You belong on the Traitors, Sophia, gotta say. You belong on that show. Anxiety. We get this, like, Trace Amigas memorial, which is so funny. I loved it. So funny. So I guess, you know, they're still trying to figure out who the traitor is. Teddi randomly throws Tamra in the pool, which everybody is like freaking out about. Did you think that was set up, or do you think that Teddi just decided to do that for like a shock factor, or what?
I don't think Teddy is dumb enough to throw Tamra in the pool without Tamra knowing, because they have to keep that podcast going. So I don't think so. I also think it's so, yet again, here she is, thinks she's created a moment and it falls flat. It's not necessary. Again, remove her, take her away. I can't. Yeah. Oh, by the way, do you think Tamra is actually for real when she says she wouldn't do Tres Amigas anymore? Because I can't see that woman saying no to money, right?
I agree with you there. However, I don't know. I guess she's made such like this strong stance. Like, I am over it. And I don't know if you guys saw, I did go to the Tres Amigas live show, the original, like first ever in OC. And it's all about alcohol. I mean, they're singing about tequila the whole time. So I have to agree with Tamra that the show that they had planned was no longer going to work for the three of them moving forward. So, but I feel like they could have refreshed it, done something new together. I don't know, but I feel like Tamra, she's too far down this road now. She's already said she doesn't want to do it again. Newsflash, I guess Vicky and Shannon are now coming back to the Irvine Improv, just them two, the Dos Amigas. So I may need to go see that just to compare the two shows. Of course, Sophia, you're invited, but it'll be interesting to see how their friendship moves forward. I don't think that Shannon should just forgive Tamra so easily. I think that Tamra has betrayed her 100%. I feel like she's been a terrible friend. And I feel like, we're just weeks away from the reunion filming. I feel like that is probably going to draw a deeper line in the sand between them, because I think that Tamra is going to continue to back up Alexis, and I don't think it's going to look pretty.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that Shannon needs to, if she has to have Tamra in her life, have her as an acquaintance, but this is not somebody that you should trust with any bit of information, because for someone like Tamra, she keeps things in her back pocket so that she has that ammunition ready for what, because she's going to use it. You just don't know when. And that is just that's not a friend. I mean, everything about that relationship is bad for Shannon, and I need her to step away.
I agree 100%. So I think we are at the middle of the season. We saw the mid-season trailer after last night's episode. There is still a lot more to come. We're going to see Alexis, Shannon, and John in the same room together. We're going to see their trip to London. We're going to see, of course, all of the Ryan stuff go down. Tamra's got her FBI hat ready to go. So we will be here every week to cover it all. Thank you so much, Sophia, for filling in for Lisa this week. We'll probably have you back again before the season wraps, because I love to hear all your hot takes. So thanks for joining us, and everyone, we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you. Bye.